Hello everyone, my name is Aaron, I'm the Brick Scavenger. If you've been following my channel at all, you know that I've been obsessed with plant pieces lately. And this three-prong plant piece seems to be the way Lego is moving. These are very popular in sets these days, and they also can be found on pick-a-brick walls fairly frequently actually, so they're cheap. The problem with these things is I cannot find a way to make dense, lush flowers and plants because it leaves a big gap in the middle. And even if you take a second one and stack them together, what you end up with is a ring of flowers and yet again, a hole in the middle. And I just don't like the way that looks. That is not something that is an anti-stud, so you can put a stud in. I've tried filling that thing with carrot tops and all sorts of things, and it just doesn't look right. On the totally opposite end of the spectrum, the 6-prong plant piece is fantastic. You can make really dense, lush bushes with those, and they look fantastic. The problem is these 6-prong pieces are not common. You cannot find these on Pick-a-Brick Wall, and they're really expensive on Bricklink. So this is not a solution for someone like me who is looking to do huge foliage and needs a ton of these types of pieces. But I do think I've stumbled on a solution this morning that I figured I'd share with you today. So let's go back to our 3-prong piece here, and I'll show you what I've been doing. I'm gonna take a couple of these leaf pieces in bright green. These are cheap on Bricklink, but in addition, I've found these on Pick-a-Brick walls many times. I'm gonna stack them together. Now, this hole is way too big for this 3-prong plant piece. This is gonna be super wobbly in here. But the solution then would be to take pretty much any flower piece. They almost all have that teeny tiny hole in there that is designed specifically to fit snugly onto these stems, right? And instead of going directly onto the stem, I'm gonna go on top of these 2 leaf pieces. And these stems are actually long enough to go through both of those leaves and then fit snugly into the leaf. Okay, so I'm actually gonna start with one of the shorter prongs on purpose. I would recommend you do the same, but I am going to push that thing in there, and you can see that the prong is actually in the flower and it's fitting pretty snugly on there. So then I'm going to repeat this process again, 2 leaf pieces stacked together, little leaf on top of them, and I'm going to intentionally leave the longest one for last. I'll explain why in just a second, but I'm gonna repeat the process now, and I'm gonna get that to fit snugly once again into the leaf piece. And now you can already see that the middle is starting to get a lot denser, right? So let's repeat one more time. I've intentionally left the longest stem piece, and instead of stacking these 2 leaf pieces together like this, I'm actually gonna rotate them so they're 180 degrees apart with the leaf on top. That way, when I put this last one on, it's just gotta kinda go just right, but look at what it did. Now all 3 of these are in tightly, but look at how much denser that is using that 3-prong piece. Now what I can do is I can use the base and just drop that into a stud, and I have a much denser plant to work with. And you can imagine having tons of those, you can really put together, you know, a dense plant or bush or whatever. Here's a couple more examples of these that I've done. I think these look way denser and way better than these 3-prong pieces where you end up with this big gap in the middle that to me is so irritating. So just a quick video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you are interested in more little kind of plant tutorials or taking tours of my city or whatever, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button, and even more so, hit that like button if this is a technique that you might consider using in your own city. It'll help my channel grow, and I would really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good weekend. We'll see you next time.